Hi and welcome back. So in this video we're going to be looking at the if, elif and else keywords. And these keywords are going to let us control the flow of the program, i.e. what does the program do when it encounters a situation where it should be able to decide between two different paths. For example, let's say we've got a chair that has a price of $100 or £100. If the chair is less than £100, we want to buy the chair, and if it is £100 or more, we want to tell the user to not buy it. So Python is quite easy to understand in the way that it does this. There is no need for any brackets or anything like that. Simply say if, notice how it goes on orange because it is a keyword, if the price is less than 100, and then notice how the Python shell, the IDLE, already expects us to type more things. Then we'll say buy the chair. And now we could continue telling the user things to do if the price is less than 100, or we can press backspace and that brings us to the beginning of the line, and here we can type else for what to do if the price is 100 or more. So if the price is not less than 100, we'll print don't buy the chair. And then if we press enter again, this will terminate the writing or the typing and it will give us the output, which in this case is don't buy the chair, because indeed the price is not less than 100. It is exactly 100. Now let's say that if the price is exactly 100, we want to tell the user that they can buy it if they really want. If it is more than 100, we will tell them to not buy the chair, and if it is less than 100, we'll tell them to buy the chair. So once again, if price is less than 100, we'll print out buy the chair. Now press backspace and type elif. This means else if the price is equal to 100. Notice how there are two equal signs here, as that means that we're checking the price is equal to 100. If there was only one equal sign, this would be assigning the value 100 to price. And we wouldn't want to do that in this case, that wouldn't make sense. So price equals 100 checks that the price is equal to 100. Then we'll print you can buy if you really want. And finally, else print don't buy the chair. And now price equal 100, so we should see that we can buy the chair if we really want. So what I'm going to do is press enter and then enter again, and indeed it tells us that we can buy it if we really want to. So how can we apply this to our program? Well, let's, for example, extend our age program so that the user can decide whether they want to convert from years to seconds or from seconds to years. So let's define our method, age program in this case, and then get the user input. It's going to be seconds or years equals input give me seconds or years. Now this is not a particularly understandable question, but let's assume the user knows to type S if they want to give us seconds, or years if they want to give us years. Obviously if they give us years, we'll convert to seconds. If they give us seconds, we'll convert to years. And I will say if seconds or years equal S, then we will convert seconds to years. Notice that any line that starts with a hash symbol is a comment that does not get executed by Python. It's simply for us to read and us to be able to then understand what the code does. They're completely optional, you don't have to put them in there, and they don't do anything, they're simply for you to read. Okay, so now we can enter the value. So like so, enter the number of seconds you've lived for, and then that is going to go into user value. And then we can print out you've lived for years. Format the number of seconds int user value. And now we have to multiply these number of seconds, or rather divide by the appropriate number, which is divided by 60, divided by 60, divided by 24, divided by 365. I'm actually not entirely sure that is correct. 60 seconds, 60 minutes, 24 hours, 365 days. That should be fine. Okay. And forgot the other bracket. Okay. And now we press backspace and say elif seconds or years equals y. And now I would recommend pausing the video and attempting to create this part of the program by yourselves. How would you convert from years to seconds? We've done this previously, so it should be fairly simple for you to proceed with this. Once you've completed it, resume and we'll go through it. Okay, so we're going to convert from years to seconds. And now user value is going to be an input, enter the number of years you've lived for, and then we're going to print you've lived for seconds. Format int user value multiplied by 365 multiplied by 24 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 60. And this should convert the number of years that they've given us into seconds and then print that out. Okay, so let's see what happens when we call and execute this method. So do we want to give seconds or years? Let's go for years. And then number of years, go 50, and then it gives me the appropriate number. So I'm going to copy that and paste it, and I'll give them seconds. And I'm going to give them this number here. And it tells us we've lived for 50.0 years. And notice how this is an interesting number that we've got here. We've got a number with a decimal point as opposed to just 50. This is because when doing division, Python already converts everything to numbers with a decimal point so that it can be more precise when it's calculating. Nothing we should worry about for now. And we could potentially expand the program so that if it is 50.0, it would just print out 50. But that's not something we should worry about right now. So hopefully this explains how to use if, elif, and else. And remember that you can chain more elifs. So you can have if, elif, 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 else. And you can have an unlimited number of elifs inside one of these if statement blocks. And also remember that it is the indentation that matters. So the if and the elif and the else all have to be in the same level of indentation. And similarly, every line that is inside or under the if statement has to be indented more than the if statement. Every line that is under the elif has to be indented more than the elif, or else Python will get confused. Okay, so this was the entirety of this first section, and now we're going to be moving on to the next section after the next couple of videos, where I'm going to explain a small assignment that you can choose to do. So I'll see you in the next video.